All right, folks, welcome back to Jimmy O Show, Week 10, Player of the Week episode. We're here today with our Players of the Week from the Temple game as we enjoy and savor one last time the results of the homecoming and then move on to Navy. Huge week coming up for the Wave. Before we get going, please be sure to do a little business first, boys. Please be sure to go to fearthewavecollective.com. Check out our website. Check out how you can subscribe to support these great student athletes and other ways you can get involved to help the collective. All right, business out of the way. Let's get started. We got going from my right, at least on my screen, around the clock. I'm going to start with Shaquem Lacester, our special teams player of the week. How we doing, Shaquem?
Doing good, Jimmy. How you doing?
Good, man. Back-to-back weeks. It's good to see you again.
Yeah.
We got Adonis Freelu making his debut appearance this year. Adonis, how we doing, big fella?
What's good, Jimmy?
Yeah, man, holding down the middle of that defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. And then, of course, Alex Bauman, a friend of the Jimmy O Show, a guy who's been here a few times over the years. How you doing this morning, or this afternoon, this night? Excuse me, Alex. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, Jimmy.
Been one of those days, man. I'm
Yeah.
in my second city of the day. I stopped at a basketball game a little while. I'm at the end of it, so I'm working y'all schedule today. I'm working like a college football player again. Um, so guys, homecoming. How was it? Like, enjoy. The score certainly was what the score was, but had a good time out there on Saturday.
Yeah, it's hard to not enjoy what was it, 52-6 win?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Especially at home, and it being homecoming, it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, even with the weather, the crowd was really great, at least in the first half. I mean, it was over by halftime, so a lot of them took off. But, 52-6. I mean, I looked up right before they sprung that long run at the end of the game, which I appreciate how mad Coach Summerall can get about about their one touchdown they scored. But at that point in the game, we were right at 600 yards of offense. We had not yet given up 100 yards on defense. Adonis, that was, we've seen the defense coming along for a while now. Different pieces. The depth at all levels, but just playmakers at all levels, et cetera. But that was probably the finest performance we've seen. For 53 minutes. I mean, really the whole game, and they had one play really. Other than that, they probably averaged less than 3 yards a play, running and passing. Quarterback running for his life, receivers not making any plays, running backs not making any plays. How was it out there on defense?
Nah, it's like the usual protocol. Coach G always preach, talk, run, and hit. So we just doing what we coach to do. How we attack every day in practice with full effort. So the same way goes for in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I was really impressed. They had two running backs. One guy was kind of unremarkable all season long, was averaging 3.1 a carry, whatever. But the other guy, showed a little juice, and you just never saw that come to light. In the game. I mean, it was total shutdown up front, and then just assignment sound. Good tackling. I know coach wasn't thrilled with the tackling the week before, but I thought that emphasis helped. The boys came out strong with that. Um, Bradley, our producer, who is an LSU guy, says best team and coaches in the state. How about that, boys?
No doubt.
Ain't no doubt in my mind either. I remember that feeling back in '98 when we felt the same way, and just wish we had the opportunity to play those guys up the river. But um, Shaquem, just kind of in these introductory remarks, I come back to you, back to back special teams players of the week. Look, I got my son with me. He's a sophomore in high school. He's playing a lot of special teams. I was like, all right, now watch 26. Watch how he plays the play. Doesn't matter. Kick's probably going to be a touchback, but watch his lane discipline. Watch how he gets upfield. Watch how he engages blocks. How he disengages. That's kind of his thing. Adonis worked with him a 3 years ago on the defensive line stuff, but he likes that engagement too long. It's like, man, the point is to get off the block. So you put a little clinic on how to cover kicks, how to block, special teams play. Appreciate that lesson you gave my son from far away.
Of course.
Yes, sir. So good. be here back.
Yeah. Man, look, I guess we could talk about Temple all day long, but really, um, all three of you guys are veterans. All three of you guys have been around this program for the last 3 years, and all three of you guys have been part of this stretch that we're about to enter into here, right? Like you've kind of done what you needed to do up to this point in the season, and when you get to that point, you're now hitting where every single game just means so much, right? And so like you go to Annapolis this week, playing a very tough Navy team, and that's for an opportunity. You win. That's an opportunity to play in a conference championship game, right? You get Memphis after that, and that's a chance to finish the season, maybe host, and then of course, hopefully, if you take care of business, then you get the conference championship game. So it kind of reminds me of that stretch down in 2022, where we had that SMU night game, and then we followed it with the home game to finish, and then we got UCF. So just what's the key, man? Navy. I know they're a little different than other academy teams. They may not be as slow, right? Like they may not be looking like Army to try to get a 10-minute drive on you or whatever. You might get your normal amount of possessions or whatever, but sort of on each phase of the game. Let's start with you, Alex, just offensively. What's going to be some of the keys for the Green Wave offense as it faces Navy this week?
Yeah, I think it starts with everyone knows Feeding Mackay. Like, he's a great back. He makes blocking a lot easier when you know that 21 is running behind you, making people miss, shedding a lot of tacklers. And then that opens up, all the pass game stuff, run action, play action, stuff like that. Opens big plays. So I think that, we've been playing well, and that we just got to.
Oh, we dropped Bauman. We lost Bauman right before he says the real key to this game is going to be 3 touchdown passes to me. We missed that part. But I finished the quote for him. All right. He had one last week, I believe, and some excellent blocking. But while we wait for Alex to come back on, I mean, Adonis, I could probably give you your answer, but I mean, talk about you've done this, you've been through the drill, right? Like option football, assignment football, not trying to do somebody else's job, right? It is all about knowing your assignment and doing your 1/11th.
Right. Yeah, as you know, it's a run heavy team, so it's gonna be inside out, and everybody has to stay in their gap, and you have to dominate your assignment. And like Coach Summerall said, he's been saying this week, do your job. So that's gonna be the most important thing we have to go into this game with.
Right. And like following up on that point, I mean, that's part of what it is. Championship culture, championship teams is developing the trust, I take it, in the guys around you to know that, look, I can do my job and I can trust that guy next to me, the guy behind me, they're going to do theirs as well. Right.
Exactly. You gotta have trust, especially when it comes to playing option teams, because if you take one gap, you gotta make sure that you know that your teammate gonna take the next one. So
Right.
you gotta have trust.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, man. You watch these when these option teams get loose, it's oftentimes against teams that are more athletic than them and everything else, but guys don't have that love they try to do their job in somebody else's. Next thing you know, it's they're in the wrong gap. It's a 20-yard run instead of a 3-yard run, et cetera. Right. And
And it's not just trust too. You also gotta have discipline.
absolutely. Yep. Yep. Know what you know what you see and react. And then Shaquem, I mean, it's a lot better situation than the last time we were in Annapolis. The Military Bowl, it was a monsoon. It seemed like it was freezing cold. It was wet. It was rainy. It was windy. Um, forecast is really good, but there is going to be some wind. And when I get wind, 15-mile-an-hour winds, that tells me that special teams comes really into focus because they're going to have opportunities where we're kicking off. We're not going to have the touchback, right? We're going to have to cover the kick. We're going to have to get down on punch, help Will Carroll out. So what are sort of does Navy present anything special teams wise that is going to be a particular challenge this week?
They're very disciplined team, pretty much on all phases. Tough guys, but nothing that we haven't like dealt with before. I think everybody's hit on it. Just making sure we're disciplined, um, and our techniques and fundamentals, and then we'll let the rest take care of itself.
Right. I mean, and guys, both of you are touching on what I think is key with these teams. I mean, the thing, the way they win games, the way Navy wins games is by being tougher than you, by being more disciplined than you, by being more sound than you. They don't beat you athletically. I mean, they got some athletes. Don't get me wrong, but they're not going out there and out athlete you. But their calling card is being tougher and more disciplined and more sound. And so, if you right, if we can match that, then we can let the athleticism win it. And it's like, but don't get, but correct me if I'm wrong, but they don't have a license on toughness, right? Just because they're a military academy don't mean that we can't out tough them.
Yeah, toughness ain't just because you have a name on your uniform. Toughness is built through hard work and grit. So I feel
Yeah,
like anybody could be tough if you work hard enough for real.
yeah. And you think about some of the adversity you come through, man. I mean, Adonis, you've had some real promising season start to be derailed by injury, and just fought back all the way back. I mean, 2 season-ending injuries already in your career, and here you are, player of the week, down in the stretch, man. I mean, that right there. If that don't speak to toughness, I don't know what does.
Nah,
Um,
glory to God with that one.
yeah, and so look, man. Let's see what our comment is right there. I got to put on the glass. See, when you get old, boys, you can't read without that. So yeah, Bradley again just saying we got some dogs in his locker room. I think that is a very accurate statement. So, well, guys, I appreciate your time today. We're gonna switch over to the job takers of the week. I appreciate Alex, who's having technical difficulties, but that's probably because he's just trying to get some extra studies in. He was looking for ways to.
Yeah,
There he is. There he is. Look at him. He
okay.
popped in.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
That's all right. It was either studies or girlfriend, but I'm gonna go with the studies. He had to get some extra book work in real fast. But that's all right, Alex. We
Yeah.
know what you look like. You've been here a lot. Um, but Alex, Adonis, Jakeem, I appreciate all you guys coming on, man. Appreciate it, and best of luck this week against Navy.
Yeah, of course.
Nah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Appreciate you.
You got it, guys. All right. Y'all missed me with the last guys. I was like, I got to put on the glasses so I could see. I'm working off of a phone today. Picture's real small. How we doing, guys?
Good, sir.
Good. How are you?
Very good, very good. Why don't you, and we got one more popping in. We'll get that in a second. But why don't you, Jackson, one of you guys, or uh,
Jackson just popped in.
that's Jackson right there. Okay,
What's up?
how we doing, gents?
Good, how you doing?
Good, man. Guys, why don't y'all go around and introduce yourself to our audience? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I'll go first.
you got it.
My name is Adam Upaluri. I'm a redshirt junior and a senior in school. I'm studying political science and public health, and I'm excited to be one of the job takers of the week.
Yes, sir. Welcome, Adam.
Thank you.
My name's Carson Klein. I'm a true freshman. I'm studying business, but I'm still undecided, and I'm from Dallas, Texas.
All right, we've had you already, Carson. This is second time this
Yes,
year.
sir.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
And Jackson, we got your maiden voyage, man. First job taker of the week of 2024. How you doing? Tell us who you are.
Yes, sir. I'm Jackson Judge. I'm a redshirt sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida, and a transfer. Just got here in May, so excited to be here.
Got it, man. Jackson Judge from Jacksonville. That's a bit of a mouthful. Um, Adam, I saw. I was looking through contacts that I just forwarded. I actually already have your number, so you've been here before last year. I take it, if I remember
Yep.
correctly. So welcome back. A little different format now. We're having to be digital. I've moved away and have to. I actually am in New Orleans tonight, but I'm typically not. So, Bradley says Jackson Judge. That name goes hard. There you go. So,
Yes, sir.
uh, Adam, I know you get a lot of reps with on special teams on Saturdays. as far as your work as a job taker, tell us about your role. Is linebacker? What position are you playing? What are you simulating last week for Temple?
Absolutely. So yeah, my role as a defensive player is more of a scout guy, and I enjoy serving the offense and giving the best look possible. When it comes to special teams, I'm a backup for a couple teams, and I start on KOR. And so one guy goes down, next man up mentality, and I was really excited and thrilled to get some kickoff reps. That was awesome.
Yeah, you gotta work on Head and those boys though. They gotta give y'all some. I bring it up with Shaquem, man. Y'all gotta get a chance to make some tackles sometimes. Touchback after touchback takes away some of the reps on that. But
Yeah.
I suppose that's what's best for the team. But still, I like some tackles inside the 20 here and there.
Yeah.
And Carson, man, what was your role this week? Temple. What position were you playing?
Yeah, I was really on all four aspects of the special teams, but something that kind of stuck out this week was their punt game.
Yep.
And their punter is kind of known for not super long punts, but like line drive punts that roll 10 to 20 yards. So the goal of this week was kind of just hold up the guys so they couldn't get to the punter and allow the punt to get off. So our returners, Dante and Bo, were able to get to the ball before and stop it from rolling. So that was kind of the main goal this week.
Yeah, what's interesting about that is, and that was a little wrinkle. We never do two returners. We dropped the second returner back because of it was sort of like a half rugby style, right? Like this guy wasn't a full rugby where he's rolling out sideline and hitting on a run, but they would shift the protection late, and then he would kind of half roll, right, like a 3-step, and then let it go to try to create that forward roll. And I just thought it was a nice wrinkle. I thought Coach Mack and crew did a good job bringing the second returner. And the key was, really just stopping the roll was the successful play, right? Like,
Yes, sir.
that's the way he's creating a roll. I mean, if you could just fair catch it, stop the roll, you're saving yourself 20 yards field position right there. I mean, that's an explosive play just by cleanly fielding it, right? And so you guys giving those guys room to get the clean field, and then for them to do it. I mean, I thought small underrated thing, right? But pays huge dividends. And if you looked at our average starting field position all week, it was favorable, despite the fact we didn't turn them over, right? Like when you beat somebody 52-6, normally you need a few turnovers. that was kind of remarkable to win by 46 points and not even turn the other team over. That's some domination right there.
Yes,
But
sir.
but mitigating the damage in the special teams goes a long way when you don't get the turnovers. Um, and then Jackson, how about you, man? What was your role on Scout this week? What were you simulating?
So basically, they just had like a really fundamental quarterback, and honestly, their offense was just like they played pretty fundamentally sound, and like they didn't have any crazy athletes. They had one pretty fast receiver, and so the defense, like they were working on that. They definitely like were watching one of their receivers was their best by far. I think he had like double the receptions that the next guy had.
Yeah, yeah,
So
Dante Wright, I believe.
yes, sir.
Hmm. Yeah, productive player, but there's some interesting stats of them coming in the game. Like the quarterback who started, he wasn't a starter all year, but when he came in, his completion percentage on a year was around 60%, but he actually his adjusted completion, so when you take drops out, was like 78%. It was almost like 1 out of every 5 balls they were dropping.
Yeah,
So,
no, the quarterback was definitely better than like what the stats showed. And like they
mhm.
talked about that a while too. So
Yeah, so you always worry about that. If they actually get their stuff together in the game, it's like
yeah,
they're maybe better in the performance. They could save that for somebody down the line. But well, let's look forward, man. I know we're underway. Monday's really kind of our run through day. It's a heavy mental day, right, as we're preparing for Navy. Um, totally different look, right? Like not only everybody knows the option on offense. It's assignment football, having to be real disciplined in terms of understanding your assignment, doing your job, and but even on the other side of the ball, defensively they get pretty aggressive, crowding the box, and then try to play coverage on the back end. So sort of what are your keys in terms of the preparation for next week? Adam, I'll start with you. Sort of, what are some of the keys that we need to be looking out on Saturdays? And we say, yep, that's something that we worked on all week.
Absolutely. Well, we know that their front seven is pretty strong, and those are the type of guys who knows how to create turnovers. I think that for the linebacker who, I'm simulating and I'm working on, he's good all around. So I'm going to do my best job, giving the best pass rush moves and, best coverage drops possible, because we know that those guys are capable of all those things.
Okay. And you got like the stand-up bandit guy. Yeah.
I'm more of a inside linebacker. I'm going to simulate
one of
pretty well this week.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, they in that defense they've just funneled. The guys moved on, but the guy Fago or whatever his name was in past years would just have a bazillion. Diego, he would have a bazillion tackles because they kind of like funneled the run to him. So I guess that's the replacement there. That's who you got. Yeah.
Yes,
and then Carson, how about you, man? What group are you working on defensive backfield this week?
Yes, sir. This week I'm simulating number 18 and 7. And something that they do very well is they fit the run very quickly. So it makes it hard for our receivers to get that crack block. So something that I guess I'm doing this week is whenever I see run is to just fill the gap as fast as I can. And they're, like we said, they're very fundamentally sound and very disciplined. So I have to realize when it's run and when it's not run, and when to fill and when not to fill. So that's just something that they kind of do very well.
Yeah. And are they kind of like a quarters team? What do they do on the back end that allows them to be so aggressive on the?
Yeah, they do. They kind of do everything, but mostly quarters. I'd say the majority is.
Yeah. So it's going to be key. Yeah. Hold up in some protection, hit them over the top with some play action. Getting guys like you overcommitted to stop that run and hit them over the top. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then Jackson, offensively, are you playing wing back? You're one of the guys out wide. What are you working on this week?
I'm doing quarterback. So obviously their offense is none like we've played so far. It's split back veer wing tee kind of thing. And honestly, it's the defense is doing a good job. We're not even using a ball, and they're really just focusing on mentally. They have this guy definitely working on pitch relations. They don't want to lose the guy in pitch relations. So that's how they've been winning. So
yeah, that's a pretty big role, man. Harvath is I think Coach Summerall was talking to a group tonight. He's he's kind of the straw that serves the drink. He's definitely most offenses, the quarterback's the focal point, but this guy's probably even more responsibility than others when you consider his responsibility in the run game, carrying out all the fakes, doing all the different things that you have to do as an option quarterback. And the thing that's a little different with them is than past years, used to be a very rudimentary pass game, right? They would have 5-6 route concepts, it seems off of their play action. That's pretty much all they throw. This team throws the ball. I mean, they're
good at it too.
Yeah, they'll throw in neutral situations to keep you honest, and they definitely want to run, but they'll throw it way more than academies traditionally have, and like you said, they're pretty good at it. So, man, it's gonna be a challenge, but this is what we play for, right? I mean, it's to have gone through what we've gone through, had some of the failure, but mostly success we've had this season, all leads up and sets us up for a championship run down the stretch. It starts, or I guess it continues, but it's a pretty big one on Saturday. So, guys, I appreciate all the hard work you put in, and best of luck to you and your teammates as y'all roll out there on Saturday.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all being on here. Carson, tell these boys about being a multi-time Jimmy O job taker of the week, man. They need to catch up with you. You're in the league.
Of course.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Don't worry.
Yeah, Adam's coming. All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
See ya.
All right. Bye-bye.